Today we're going to be discussing order of operations, and the letters that you need to remember are P, E, M, D, A, S, or if it makes it easier, you can remember it as please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. It usually helps students when remembering the order of operations. The P stands for parentheses, but within the parentheses we can also use brackets instead of parentheses. E is for exponents. The M is for multiplication. And one thing that you have to remember when you're using the order of operations, when it's multiplication, it's or division. The next one is addition. Or subtraction. Or when solving or evaluating. We always evaluate from left to right. Okay, let's put the order of operations to use. We're going to start by evaluating problems. In our first example, letter A, we have 15 divided by 3 times 6 minus 4 squared. Based off our acronym, the first thing that we look for is parentheses. So if you look at our expression here, there are no parentheses. We next check for the next one, which is at E for exponent. We have an exponent right here. So I know that 4 squared is the same thing as 4 times 4, which is 16. I write down that minus sign, and I bring everything else down. 15 divided by 3 times 6 minus that 16. Once again, we look at our order of operations. We have multiplication and division. What you have to remember, it's multiplication or division, depending on what comes from left to right. So reading it from left to right, I have 15 divided by 3 first. 15 divided by 3 is 5. I bring down my times 6 minus 16. And once again, I look at my expression from left to right, I see multiplication. And following my order of operations, I have multiplication before that subtraction. So 5 times 6 is 30. I bring down that 16. And last but not least, we only have that minus sign between those two numbers, 30 minus 16, which will give us 14. Okay, this time we're using the order of operations when we have grouping symbols. So our first problem, problem 1, we have 2 times 5 plus 3 parentheses 4 plus 3. Based on our order of operations, we work with our parentheses first, and we have to work within the parentheses. So we're working with that 4 plus 3. When we add 4 plus 3, that's going to give us 7. So So I now have that 7 inside the parentheses, and I'm rewriting the rest of the expression. Now working from left to right, I have multiplication, 2 times 5 here. I have 3 times 7 right here. 2 times 5 will give me 10, plus 3 times 7, which is 21. And since all I have is addition left, all I can do now is just add my numbers, 10 plus 21, and this will give me 31. We now have example number 2, and now things are going to get a little bit more complicated. We have 2, or bracket, 5 plus, I have parentheses, 30 divided by 6, close parentheses, squared, and then I close my bracket. So following my order of operations, it's parentheses and brackets. I have to look within the brackets, and within there I find that parentheses. So I have to start by working with those parentheses first. I'm going to start rewriting this. 2 bracket 5 plus, in parentheses I will put my answer of 30 divided by 6, which will give me 5. I bring down that square and I close my bracket. Now within that bracket, I'm looking at what's inside of it. I have 5 plus 5 squared. So our square is our exponent. We have to work with our exponent first. I'm going to rewrite this. 2, the bracket 5, plus 5 squared is the same thing as 5 times 5, which equals 25. I close my bracket. Within our bracket, we now have 5 plus 25. So I have that 2, my bracket, and 5 plus 25 is equal to 30. My bracket works the same thing as the parentheses, so this would be the same thing as 2 times 30, which is equal to 60.